Hello chipsters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. That better? Please don't let this house be on the lean. There's so many like it in the Black Country. Our houses are always disappearing down 200-year-old mine shafts. Right, where were we, Gav? Oh yeah, we're doing a final reveal and an unboxing. Do you know what? This was going to be a final reveal of these Baccus 6mm American War of Independence British infantry that I've painted. But a month or two ago I planned to do the painted version, and I'd got another bag that I haven't painted yet. Unpainted, funny enough. And I was going to just show you, what they look like in the raw and with some painted versions. Completely slipped my mind until just a second ago. So yes, it's a reveal of some painted figures, but also a look at some unpainted figures. It's taken a while to do these because I've got so much, I can't really take my painting time away from painting my clients' figures. But whenever there's not a lot of red on these chasseurs I'm painting for him, but they do have red on the plume, and a tiny bit of here and there. And that's just given me enough excuse that when I do his red, I do it on these guys as well. And then I up it with a very bright colour at the end because they are 6mm. And the black as well when I do his black on his. These get the used over paint at the end. Guys, it's a way of painting your figures. If you've got two different scales of figures, particularly, and one that you're quite happy to be on the back burner, it's quite handy if you can roughly match them with what you're doing already. Yes, I know it can be a bit boring, you're painting, well, these aren't the same, but or still using up the same paint. It's productive, you're not wasting paint, and you're getting a few extra figures done. It just might take you a while, but they get done. Even the faces, obviously, these have got two colours on the faces, one shadow, one highlight, and that's it. These are 6mm, but even still, when I'm using that type of paint up, I can, or if I'm doing a 30-year war figures, I've also used them on the different paints on these as well. There you go. So yeah, I just wanted to say before we go down to the bench, a huge thank you to the response I got from the last video. As I say, I hate these things that put rant on because they genuinely normally are clickbait, and also I don't moan for moan's sake, hopefully not anyway, but as I say, the comment that I'd seen on Facebook on someone's timeline was just indicative of the, I call it sneering, the sneering attitude of not trolls but people doing our thing but have a personality that's sneering. I don't get it. I never will do. I can understand us all getting annoyed at stuff. I do. Yeah, Anyway, we're not going back over old. I just wanted to thank you all for those comments. I wasn't fishing for comments. It's just something. It was, with my head, it was just playing in the back of my mind for a couple of days. And I just thought, no, I'm sticking a video up over this because it's indicative of where we are with social media at the moment, and it's not something I like, especially when that person was slating us on here that I know is an exceptional community. I hate the word community in a sense. Sorry, that's my phone. I've always disliked that because I always think, yeah, it's cheesy, the community. But it really is. It's a group of people from all around the world, all walks of life. Yes, I'm connected to probably, different strands. I'm connected to guys that only war game. I'm connected to guys that only build models. And I'm connected to guys that only paint either war gaming figures or larger figures. And that's everything that I do. I used to work my gun dogs. I've lost my one. Obviously, Barkley passed away, and I've got Archie, but he's retired. I don't do anything else outside that as hobby-wise. This is what I do, and I just think you're a smashing bunch of people. So, thank you very much for all your input on that. It just shows you can have one person you know, polluting a clear water course, but that's just one little strand of pollution. Yeah, you don't want it there, but there's not much you can do about it. But it's absorbed by all just the nice, kind, well-meaning people out there. Enough said. I'm going back over old stuff again, and this will be another ramble when it's not supposed to be. So these are 6mm. I've never painted 6mm before. It's for those that don't war game, and as I say, I'm a lap squad. I haven't gamed for a few years now, but it's I always think it's the great. You can do it two ways. That there are the very small figures for people with very limited area to game on, or they are small figures that make a huge difference on a cinematic type level, in the sense of they're tiny little chaps, but when you've got a lot of them, they make a fantastic looking forces on a tabletop. Paint them, I do anyway, very simplistically. I'll put a couple of highlights on the jackets type of thing, but and I try and paint them brighter than I would probably do for larger figures. So, having said all that, join me at the bench and we'll take a look. Right, guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. Now, we'll start off with the commanders. As you can see, they're little guys with big heads. Basically, because you're looking down on them all the time, it's better to have the head a bit larger. They're all the same. You get 5 strips by the look of it in a bag. I've used one up for my brigade commander, and I use the whole strip, using the other guys as aide-de-camps, things like that. Let me see if we can get in a bit close. The only problem with this camera, it does tend to creak, it makes that creaky noise if you're getting sometimes too close. But yeah, these are our guys. Let me just see, hey, how far away are they? Alright, let's get our other light on the subject without making him too shiny. Yeah, come on Gav, find something to point with without taking your fingers off with this. Yeah, I mean, obviously take these casting plugs or supports away. I don't actually try and clean these up at all. They're so small, it's not really worth it. The one thing I probably would do, which I didn't on these painted examples, is I would push these. As you can see, you can break them off. Actually, they're quite tough to break off. I would probably file them down on a larger, obviously we've all got these larger files for cleaning off bases. I would probably try and get them the bases very slightly more thinner than that, probably about another 20-30% off it. But yeah, it's indicative of these type of figures. The head's always slightly larger than the rest, and the horses appear quite small as well. But again, it's you've got to view them in a different way. I won't share any more mounted because I believe. Oh no, hang on! I thought they were all the same, and they're not. Apologise, Baccus. Yeah, we've got our guy with his sabre up there. I didn't realise that. Bareheaded there. These are from their 7-year war range. They've obviously put them in the American War of Independence because more or less the uniforms are the same in their catalogue. So they are, let's just make sure after saying that, yeah, there's the 2 poses or 2 styles on the same pose, on the same casting block, whatever you want to call them. Right, these are our guys. Now these, the other ones I've painted, they said they were in campaign look, so you could, I suppose, if you are really masochistic, you could paint different ones with buff Bennett leggings, gaiters, I think is the word I was after, you can have them with black or you can have them with white. Obviously, I think mine was supposed to have a grey coat or blanket, well not grey coats in them days, blanket rolls over it as well. These are supposed to be like parade type dress, so there'd be I think an extra white cross belt shown. That's about it really. I don't really see any difference in them. But again, it's not it's the main colour of you're looking, to be honest with you, I'm looking over at the painted ones now, and you're looking at, in this case, the cuff colour. Obviously, you've got your black tricorn hat with, depending, usually, you know, the white, quite often even the officers had the white tape around it, which I've done on mine. You know, you're looking at that more than anything. You know, the officers have sashes and that, but in the British Army at the time, you know, the sash colour wasn't that much different from what, especially in 6mm, than what you've actually got painted. So you're looking at a block of colour really. That's what you've got to look at. As I say, the bases come quite thick. Obviously, they're quite small figures. I'd be tempted next time, rather than just to clean them off. Sorry, that's Sean from the Scale Model Car Guy channel trying to gate crash my video. Right, yeah, so I would file that down. But apart from that, I think I had a couple of bayonets where there might have been a bit of chunk flash, which I just literally was easy to remove. But yeah, you know, you just pick out details that, you know, whether they're cartridge boxes, things like that. But even they're going to be black, so there's not a point in showing. All the poses are the same, and again, you're looking at the block rather than the individual at this scale. And you get a command, a sergeant there, a drummer. I put the drummer, it's not, although I've got an Osprey book on it, I wasn't sure. I've painted these with the mitre cap rather than any type of fur type to it. So yeah, you know, they're great little figures. You know, I've made this for you know, you pick a theme really. So I've picked this as James Agnew's brigade at Brandywine Creek, basically because two of the regiments that made up my regiment were, I had three of, my regiment was based of 4 regiments amalgamated over twice into the Staffordshire regiment, and the oldest part of the regiment, the 38th, was actually recruited. Although I don't live in the county of Staffordshire, I live in the county of the West Midlands. We used to be part of the South Staffordshire before they made the new county of the West Midlands up in the early 70s. Bit of geography for you there, but it's just, the point I'm trying to make is I saw an old recruiting map once from the 1830s, and the South Staffords, or South Staffs as are more popularly known, were recruited actually from smack bang where I am living. So I've always followed the 38th of all the 4 with the most interest, and the 38th fly or had yellow facings. And if you don't know, yellow facings means the collars, cuffs, although they had flat collars here, not the stand-up collars, but yeah, they're yellow, the colours are yellow. So I've gone for a really light base to show them off more, and I use that AK next generation or third generation paint, British mud it's called. I thought it was apt. Now you've got, I'll have to read this off just to make sure I don't spend my memory. Right, we've got the 38th. I've not gone for any particularly yellow, and these are printed, and to be honest with you, I've gone over them more with more paint because they're a bit on the pale side, and when you put your wood glue in there, your PVA, it tends to rub a lot of the print off quite quick. I often paint my own. It's just that I thought, no, stuff it, let's just get these done quickly, and I bought a sheet or 2 sheets. So you got 38th a foot. What I was called my beloved 38th, because I tend to paint it. Anything that I'm painting for the British whatever period tends to get a 38th always put in there. We got the 64th next, the sister regiment next to it, the 64th. I can't remember if it was the 64th or the 80th. I think it was the 64th that went into the bag at Yorktown. We don't like to speak about that too much. And the 38th, we were the boys that ran the rebels off Breeds Hill, stroke Bunker Hill. It was a bit of a pyretic victory, as they shot us to pieces, but I just wanted to show the classic British redcoat that kept forming ranks. They literally were firing from entrenchments and shot us down, and the ranks kept closing up and marching on, and we gave them the usual couple of volleys and then went in with a cold steel and evicted them from said hill. Fortunately, well, I'd have took away this either. They did evict us from the colonies in the end, but oh dear, I'm not bitter over it, am I? But let's move on, because I've got a lot of good pals in the United States, Maras, I should say. Right, let's go back again. So we got 38th, we got 60. Oh, trauma, I tell you, it's trauma. I wasn't even there, and it's traumatised me. 64th, 33rd, and the 46th, and they made up James Agnew's brigade, I believe the 4th brigade at Brandywine Creek. So let's just have a quick look. As I say, I've left them up. By the way, I've left them on the only because they're so, they're tiny little figures, and I get my monster hands all around them, and you'll not see anything. So let's see if we can get in there. So this is I don't know if it's Major General James Agnew. I've allowed myself the bigger tufts that, yes, I know, I'm probably for 18 mils and that, but I hadn't really preempted what I was doing, and I thought, oh well, I was actually going to make some bushes out of wire, because I didn't actually have any bushes that I've made myself or anything, but in the end, necessity was the mother of invention, and I just stuck tufts down. This is knock grass, by the way, the darker grass. It's very good. It does come with some plastic bits that, to be honest with you, are no good on the one. They don't pick up on the static, so you have to re-sprinkle them over, and they would be good on 18s or something like that, especially if you're going to put a coat of varnish over the top, which is what I always do with these guys anyway. It's just that with the 6mm it didn't look right. So yeah, these are again simplistic colours. It's and I've used metallics on these. That's our brigade command. What I do is I spray over. I use my compressor to spray the varnish. So as we say, we've got, I don't want to really point with me scalpel, I'm about to scratch the blooming things. Let's not look at those staves too much, staffs, for the colours. They're the ones I had to snip off and swap round. But yeah, you can see these are blanket rolls here. I say that I've done no artistry in the sense of, oh, let's mix them up and let's do this and that. You really are at this scale, in my opinion, looking for just the mass effect. I've seen a lot of people actually close them up, literally base to base, and that does look good. And I even thought of added a third, just for the chunkiness of a unit, putting a third strip on. But you rapidly use up soldiers, and I just think you can get four regiments out of one bag here, if you're doing it in this way. I mean, by all means, push them up together if that's what you want. But even if you put some static grass or tufts over the bases, when you put them together, there's still gaps. I don't know. It don't look right. You can't. You see the bases too much. So as I say, and that's something I would do. I would file the bases down so they don't maybe sit so proud. But yeah, these are our little guys. Good old 64th. I was unsure. I couldn't get. I should be able to, but I couldn't see if we were supposed to have the red like cross there, the flag of St George or whatever. I don't know if it was supposed to be on the colours then or not, but it came like that, so I've just gone with it, to be honest with you. But as you can see, try and do a strong highlight. Oh, there he goes. I'll try to use up a load of old tufts, to be honest with you, on these, and none of them are sticking. They'll probably all fall off. Yeah, what I was trying to say is, A very nice highlight for doing small figures is Luftwaffe blue, you know, field uniform blue, a Luftwaffe colour. And that's what you get for doing it'll give you that nice bluey grey highlight, which does work quite well with these 6mm. And as a final highlight on like the 18mm gaiters for those. As I say, we're looking at the same really. You know, there's no difference really in figures. The grit that I use is obviously normal silver sand, and I mix up some silver sand, and it's like for the bottom of budgies, cages, parrot cages, I don't know, it's like a fine grit, and it's not too big for these guys, and for your 15s and 18s, and as a balance mix. And I also put a bit of mixed the railway Jarvis railway ballast in there as well. But I wanted a lightish colour, you know, earth, and because there are, you know, areas like that around where, you know, in most people's countries, and then obviously go with some darker grass. I was actually going to try and make a couple of pine trees to stick up, but I just thought, you know what, they're only going to get in the way really. I wish I'd have done a couple of like little wire bushes, but I just didn't have the time. As I say, I'll get that other brigade done as and when. It won't be massively soon, but and to be honest with you, if I did that, I don't know how many brigades. There weren't that many brigades in the American War of Independence anyway that the British fielded. You know, in those battles, they tended to be quite scratch units, with obviously German units and loyalist units. Now, what they do bag of Highlanders for £7. By the way, these were about £7 for a bag, 96 figures for the main guys anyway. They do a Highlander range with the, you know, for the Black Watch. And some of the other Highland units that were there, which escape me at the moment. And they also, what was I looking at? They do loyalist units, German units. They do the grenadiers in the bearskins, which tended to be formed into their own. They used to take the grenadiers and often the light infantry away from their parent units and stick them in one assault unit. Obviously didn't carry colours, but yeah, there's the only problem with that is you're buying. There's a lot there for one unit, if that makes sense, for a bag. You know that you probably wouldn't use that many, but you've got to have them. I was thinking of doing an American War Independence, both sides up. I still might do. Then I thought of selling them, although probably one touch with the fingers will probably take the flag poles off. Colour poles, one about flags. I might sell them still. I'm always in need of funds, so I might sell them. I don't know. But the thing is with these guys, I find on eBay and that they don't hold any money really. They're little fellas, and people want to pay little fella prices. And I don't paint very quickly, so there's not much of a return in them. For me, to spend the time painting them, you know, I might as well just paint it for myself. And I have, my eye keeps going over different ones. I keep looking at maybe doing the Napoleonic units in 6mm. Then I look at doing. I'm very interested in, like, you know, at the moment, you know, English Civil War, things like that. I did look at the Mulberrian period. You know, from 1700, you know, Blenheim and all that. The only thing that puts me off there is I've got no uniform details, and they are hellishly expensive whenever I look at books for that period. And I wouldn't know what I was without. I like uniform books to get an idea of what's going on. But I have thought of making, literally, that they have Baccus have a YouTube channel. I think they only have about 3 videos on. It's not particularly worthwhile, really, but the one I saw, they put a unit, I believe, of I don't know if they were Williamite units of the 1680s, which is a period I really like, and they'd literally done man for man, and that would probably take you a bag up to do 1 unit, roughly. I might be wrong, but it did look impressive. I know that the uniforms, you're not going to get. I understand people say, well, close up they're not going to look particularly awe-inspiring, you know, painting wise, and they wouldn't. But they look really good. They did. They have that mass effect. You know, really interesting. And I did think of, when I was got a bit more money, I might get a pack or 2 of those, and just seeing what they would look like, you know, with the pikes and as in a 1-to-1, roughly 1-to-1. I don't know if it was 1-to-1 or that, you know, whatever ratio they got, but it did look good, rather than just say 2 ranks. And that's about it. So what do I think of them? Never painted 6mm before, or I'd seen, obviously, doing the rounds back in the day, I'd seen enough 6mm on tables and that, and I always was drawn to them. Although I'm a painter and I love painted figures, as long as the terrain looks good on a table with 6mm, and I've seen some cracking, really well thought out terrain on 6mm over the years, these look absolutely fantastic, because you literally have, you know, massed ranks of different units, and they do look brilliant as a spectacle. Now, dealing with Baccus, yeah, I was informed, you know, when things were being dispatched. It took a while. I think Sean's. Well, it was Sean. Was it Sean as well? The figures of Sean as well, the chaos. Anyway, you all know Sean. Anyway, he's putting orders in, and I swear he was one that said it took a while. Nothing more. I mean, it's just demand, you know, and obviously slow down with COVID and everything else. But I wasn't in any hurry for him, you know. I wasn't in a hurry, and I honestly can't. I'm not going to put if it took 6 weeks or what. I can't honestly remember. But I knew they were in the system, and you know, I was happy with that. You know, when they were here was when they were here. But they do. I would say for guys doing 6mm, don't get put off by the size and the eye strain. I painted these again in my grey rather than black, so you could see the details anyway. I always say you could even go as far as either paint them in grey and then dry brush them in white to pick out details if that's what you need to do. But they weren't a challenge to paint, especially once you've done 1 unit, because they're all the same. You know where everything is on them, and I really do think, you know, either if you've challenged space wise, or if you just want that spectacle of large units that aren't going to cost you the earth to do, you know, I'd definitely say take a look at them, because yeah, I think they're a very affordable way to get some troops on the table, and they're not going to take you a lot of room up. If you want to see some nicely painted units, go and check out Cal at Brush and Quill. He's done a Sir Arthur Wellesley's units in India. Was it the Maharatha Wars, or was that later? I can't remember. That's how much. No, Cal, how much of attention was I paying to your video? But I generally have been, because it's something I was interested in. But yeah, go and check Cal out over at Brush and Quill. He's done some 6mm as well. Go and check Sean at Seano's World of Chaos. I'll try and remember to put a link to both their channels in the description. And Seano's, like me, he hits just about every time period in unit going, and he's into the 10mm Warhammer fantasy stuff as well, and every historical genre going. So go check him out as well. Guys, thank you very much. As I say, when I've got this other brigade painted, I'll obviously give you a reveal of those as well. It won't be for a while, as I say, because I've got some other bits and pieces to be getting on with. There's only so much distractions I can get away with. And I've also got a broken compressor at the moment, moisture trap gone, and I think my wife's just gone and ordered me the whole unit rather than the smaller bit, but hopefully I'll have a compressor going and get back onto some stuff. Big thank you to Joe, you know why. That's Mad Genius, Joe at Mad Genius Productions, otherwise known as Barbarian Joe. There'll be a thank you video out to that guy in the next few days, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Again, guys, thanks for everything that you do for me. You're a smashing bunch of people. I can't thank you enough for the whether it's fellow channel buddies, whether it's the sorry, I keep shying away sometimes from using the word marrow. You all use the word marrow now, which is great, but I always think there's people watching my videos that haven't a clue what I'm on about. But all my marrows out there, my mates, friends, buddies, you're a smashing group of people. To all my channel marrows out there that make content that I'm in constant contact with, I appreciate everything you do. You make some cracking videos, and I really enjoy them. To the guys that comment on the videos that don't actually make videos, again, I've always said this, without you guys, making videos would be completely pointless, because it would be just me and a few other people making videos talking to each other, really. Without your input, there is no YouTube, and I genuinely mean that. So I do thank every single one of you, not just for putting comments on my videos, but putting comments on other people's videos as well. It's very much appreciated. So guys, look after yourselves. Gav will be back with whatever Gav's coming back with on the next video. Sherman tank, probably. There'll be that. There'll be an unboxing coming up. Taps the side of his nose and thinks of Joe, Mad Genius Productions. The dwarfs probably be now next week, so I'm just waiting for things to dry on that. Paint along will be coming up either over the weekend or early part of next week, along with some 30-year war figures. I keep saying the 30-year war, but they are coming. Mez is a patient man. Go check Mez out. Mez's Minis. Right, look after yourselves, guys, and we'll speak soon. Every time period in unit going, and he's into the 10mm Warhammer fantasy stuff as well, and every historical genre going. So go check him out as well. Guys, thank you very much. As I say, when I've got this other brigade painted, I'll obviously give you a reveal of those as well. It won't be for a while, as I say, because I've got some other bits and pieces to be getting on with. There's only so much distractions I can get away with. And I've also got a broken compressor at the moment, moisture trap gone, and I think my wife's just gone and ordered me the whole unit rather than the smaller bit, but hopefully I'll have a compressor going and get back onto some stuff. Big thank you to Joe, you know why. That's Mad Genius, Joe at Mad Genius Productions, otherwise known as Barbarian Joe. There'll be a thank you video out to that guy in the next few days, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Again, guys, thanks for everything that you do for me. You're a smashing bunch of people. I can't thank you enough for the whether it's fellow channel buddies, whether it's the sorry, I keep shying away sometimes from using the word marrow. You all use the word marrow now, which is great, but I always think there's people watching my videos that haven't a clue what I'm on about. But all my marrows out there, my mates, friends, buddies, you're a smashing group of people. To all my channel marrows out there that make content that I'm in constant contact with, I appreciate everything you do. You make some cracking videos, and I really enjoy them. To the guys that comment on the videos that don't actually make videos, again, I've always said this, without you guys, making videos would be completely pointless, because it would be just me and a few other people making videos talking to each other, really. Without your input, there is no YouTube, And I genuinely mean that, you know, so I do thank every single one of you, not just for putting comments on my videos, but putting comments on other people's videos as well. It's very much appreciated. So guys, look after yourselves. Gav will be back with whatever Gav's coming back with on the next video. Sherman tank, probably. There'll be that. There'll be an unboxing coming up. Taps the side of his nose and thinks of Joe, Mad Genius Productions. The dwarfs probably be now next week, so I'm just waiting for things to dry on that. Paint along will be coming up either over the weekend or early part of next week, along with some 30-year war figures. I keep saying the 30-year war, but they are coming. Mez is a patient man. Go check Mez out. Mez's Minis. Right, look after yourselves, guys, and we'll speak soon.